You know, there's nothing quite like the peace of mind that comes with knowing your body is in good shape, especially when it comes to something as important as your blood pressure. Maybe you've had a doctor mention that your numbers are creeping up, or perhaps you've just noticed that you don't feel quite as light and energetic as you used to. Either way, I want you to know that you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not powerless. The good news? You don't always need medication to make a real difference. Sometimes it's the small, everyday choices that add up to something big. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How to lower your blood pressure naturally in just 7 days. Now, I won't promise miracles, but I will promise you simple, practical steps that really work. And the best part? You can start today. Let's begin with something you might not expect. Your breath. Yes, something as simple as how you breathe can have a big impact on your blood pressure. When we're stressed, whether it's from traffic, family worries, or just the busyness of life, our bodies react by tightening up, and that includes our blood vessels. But slow, deep breathing tells your body it's time to relax. Here's how to do it. Find a quiet spot, sit comfortably, and take a slow breath in through your nose, counting to 4. Hold it for a second, then exhale just as slowly through your mouth. Do this for just 5 minutes a day, and you'll be amazed at how much calmer and lower your blood pressure you feel. Now let's talk about something we all love, food. But not just any food, the kind that works for you, not against you. One of the easiest changes you can make is cutting back on salt. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up flavor. Instead, try seasoning your meals with herbs like garlic, rosemary, or basil. They add so much taste without the sodium overload. And here's a little secret. Processed foods are often the biggest culprits when it comes to hidden salt. So, if you can, try swapping out canned soups or frozen meals for fresh, homemade dishes. Even something as simple as a baked potato with a sprinkle of herbs instead of salt can make a difference. And while we're on the topic of food, let's not forget about the power of potassium. This mighty mineral helps balance out the effects of sodium in your body, and luckily, it's found in some of the most delicious foods: bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, and even a handful of nuts. Try adding one potassium-rich food to each meal, and your heart will thank you. Now, I know change can feel overwhelming, especially when it comes to habits we've had for years. But remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Maybe today, you start with just one deep breathing session. Tomorrow, you swap out the salt shaker for some fresh herbs. Small steps lead to big results. And speaking of steps, let's talk about movement, because staying active is one of the best ways to keep your blood pressure in check. But don't worry, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. A simple 20-minute walk each day can do wonders. If the weather's nice, take it outside. Fresh air and sunshine will lift your mood too. And if you're dealing with joint pain or stiffness, even gentle movements like seated leg lifts or arm circles can get your blood flowing. The key is consistency, not intensity. So let's recap what we've covered so far. Deep breathing to ease stress, cutting back on salt while adding in delicious herbs and potassium-rich foods, and finding simple ways to move your body every day. These aren't drastic changes. They're small shifts that add up over time. And you know what? By tomorrow, you could already be feeling a little lighter, a little more in control, because when it comes to your health, you've got more power than you think. Now, let's keep this momentum going, because there's even more you can do to support your heart and feel your best. You've already taken some wonderful first steps, learning how to breathe deeply, making smarter choices with your food, and finding simple ways to move your body. Now, let's build on that foundation with a few more powerful natural ways to lower your blood pressure. First, let's talk about something that might surprise you: hydration. You've probably heard that drinking water is important, but did you know that even mild dehydration can cause your blood pressure to rise? When your body doesn't have enough water, your blood vessels tighten up, making your heart work harder. Now, I'm not saying you need to guzzle gallons of water all day. That's not comfortable or necessary. Instead, try sipping on water regularly, especially in the morning when you wake up and between meals. If plain water feels a little boring, add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or even a few berries for a refreshing twist. And here's a little tip. If your urine is light yellow, you're doing great. If it's darker, that's your body's way of saying it needs more fluids. Now, let's move on to something that affects nearly every aspect of our health: sleep. If you've ever had a night where you tossed and turned, only to wake up feeling groggy and irritable, you already know how much poor sleep can throw you off. But did you know it can also raise your blood pressure? When we don't get enough rest, our bodies stay in a state of stress, releasing hormones that tighten blood vessels. So, if you've been skimping on sleep, it's time to make it a priority. Try setting a regular bedtime, even on weekends, to help your body get into a rhythm. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Blackout curtains or a simple eye mask can work wonders. And if you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, avoid looking at the clock. That extra light and the stress of counting how much sleep you're not getting can make it harder to drift back off. Of course, we can't talk about lowering blood pressure without mentioning, per se, stress. Now, I know telling someone to just relax isn't always helpful. Life comes with worries, especially as we get older. But what is helpful is finding small, manageable ways to ease that tension. One of my favorite methods is laughter. It might sound too simple, but laughing really does relax your blood vessels and improve circulation. So, whether it's watching a funny movie, calling a friend who always makes you smile, or even just reminiscing about a silly memory, give yourself permission to laugh every single day. Another great stress buster: connecting with others. Loneliness and isolation can take a toll on both your mood and your blood pressure. Even if you're not the most social person, a short phone call with a loved one, a chat with a neighbor, or even joining a gentle exercise class at your local community center can make a big difference. You don't have to do anything grand. Just a little human connection goes a long way. Now let's talk about a habit that might be working against you without you even realizing it: caffeine. That morning cup of coffee or tea might feel like a necessity, but for some people, caffeine can cause a temporary spike in blood pressure. If you're a big coffee drinker, try switching to decaf after your first cup, or opt for herbal teas like chamomile or hibiscus, which have actually been shown to lower blood pressure. And if you're not ready to give up your caffeine entirely, that's okay. Just try not to have it too late in the day, since it can also interfere with sleep. So, to sum up what we've covered in this part: staying hydrated, prioritizing good sleep, managing stress through laughter and connection, and being mindful of caffeine. None of these changes require a complete lifestyle overhaul, just small tweaks that add up over time. And here's the beautiful thing: every positive choice you make builds on the last one. Maybe today you drink an extra glass of water. Tonight you go to bed a little earlier, and tomorrow you share a laugh with an old friend. Before you know it, these habits will start to feel natural, and your body will thank you for them. Now let's keep going, because there are still a few more key steps to cover on this journey to better blood pressure and better health. By now, you've got a whole toolbox of simple, natural ways to help lower your blood pressure. Everything from deep breathing and smart food choices to staying hydrated, sleeping better, and managing stress. But before we wrap up, I want to share a few final pieces of the puzzle that can make all the difference in just 7 days. Let's start with something you might not expect: the power of music. Have you ever noticed how certain songs can instantly lift your mood or calm your nerves? Well, it turns out that listening to soothing music, especially slow, melodic tunes, can actually help lower your blood pressure. Classical music, soft jazz, or even nature, sounds like ocean waves or birdsong, can slow your heart rate and relax your blood vessels. Try setting aside 10 or 15 minutes each day to sit quietly with your favorite calming music. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and just let the music wash over you. It's like a mini vacation for your heart. Now, let's talk about the magic of magnesium. This often overlooked mineral plays a key role in keeping your blood pressure in check, and many of us don't get enough of it. The good news? Magnesium is found in some of the most delicious foods: dark, leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts like almonds and cashews, whole grains like brown rice and quinoa, and even dark chocolate. Yes, really. If you're not getting enough from your diet, a magnesium supplement might help. But always check with your doctor first. Just adding a handful of almonds to your daily routine or enjoying a square of dark chocolate can be a tasty way to support your heart health. Another simple but powerful habit: gratitude. Now, I know it might sound a little unusual to talk about thankfulness when we're discussing blood pressure, but hear me out. Studies have shown that taking time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, whether it's a beautiful sunrise, a good friend, or even just a comfortable chair to sit in, can actually lower stress hormones and improve heart health. Try keeping a small notebook by your bed and writing down 3 things you're grateful for each night before sleep. They don't have to be big things. Sometimes it's the small joys that matter most. Finally, let's talk about consistency. All these tips work best when you make them part of your daily life, not just something you try once or twice. But here's the important thing to remember: you don't have to do everything perfectly. Missed your walk today? That's okay. Just try again tomorrow. Had a little too much salt at dinner? Balance it out with some extra potassium-rich foods at your next meal. Progress, not perfection, is what really matters. So let's quickly recap everything we've covered over these 3 parts. Deep breathing to relax your blood vessels, cutting back on salt and adding potassium-rich foods, gentle daily movement like walking or stretching, staying hydrated with water and herbal teas, improving sleep quality with a regular routine, managing stress through laughter and connection, being mindful of caffeine intake, using music to calm your nervous system, boosting magnesium through diet, practicing gratitude to reduce stress. See? You've already got a whole plan to naturally lower your blood pressure in just 7 days and beyond. The most important thing is to start small, be kind to yourself, and celebrate every little victory along the way. Before we go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one small change you're excited to try? Maybe it's the deep breathing, or adding more potassium to your meals, or simply taking time each day to listen to your favorite calming music. Whatever it is, I'm cheering you on. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living your healthiest, happiest life. Remember, you're never too old to make a positive change, and your heart will thank you for every small step you take. Here's to feeling better, one day at a time.